Okay, going to show you a method that still works for cheesing the fire giant boss. Some of the previous methods that people had been doing have been patched. I saw the original one that I saw was to come in here, and we're going to be doing something similar here. The first one that got patched involved riding in here and luring him up on top of this cliff and then getting him to fall off of it 2 times in both of his phases, which would actually, he'd die from the fall damage, which was pretty silly looking because he was, for his body size, he was falling like a very short distance. But it worked, and the first time I played through, I did it that way. But that no longer works. They've now got it so that when if you can still get him up on the cliff, and that's going to be the key to what we do here, but he will no longer fall off. But that actually works in our favor with this method. So this is going to involve, we get him up there in the same way. Basically, you go up there and you make sure he's following you up there, then you jump down. And once you're down here, you're going to go ahead and summon a Spirit Ashes. I'm using Letenna the Albinauric. I do not know if other ranged ones will work or not. It's possible. This is the only one I know works. It's the only one I've done. Now, unfortunately, my placement of her was not very good because you can see she's shooting a lot of her arrows into this tree here. So you might be able to get her in a better spot than that. But it does work. You can see he's up there. She's whittling him down. And then keep in mind, he does do some of these ranged attacks, even in the first phase. So when he does this, you actually, if you end up in a situation like me where the tree is blocking some of those arrows, you can actually use this fireball to your advantage and use it to knock down this tree here. And now all of her projectiles should be reaching him at that point. It takes a little while, but I mean, with her plus 10, it only took, I mean, it was definitely, the whole thing was done in under 10 minutes, I think. But maybe even like 5 minutes, something like that. Now, I'm sure that if you don't want to upgrade her that high, or if you've got a different ranged Ashes summon, you can. I'm thinking you can probably still do it, but it may take a lot longer. I don't know. Anyway, we get him into phase 2, and then like that first method, you're going to repeat the same thing here again. You're going to get him locked onto the top of that cliff again in the same way. Now keep in mind here, he can do some pretty serious damage to you, even with you at this kind of distance, so just be aware of it. I mean, he hit me here with a pretty powerful blow and stuff, so I would just caution you, be paying attention, be ready to heal yourself up, and resurrect your horse if needs be, whatever you got to do, but just get him positioned in the same way again. And once you get him there again, now in my case, my Letenna has stayed in the exact same position this whole time. I was worried that she was going to do something stupid and get herself killed when that phase switch happened. Thankfully, she stayed put, so that's perfect. And then, once you get in position, it might take a minute to get him up to where she's hitting him again. And then with these fireballs, if you get more of these fireballs coming, you can either run past their range, or you can use them to knock down trees again, or just use some of these trees here as a block to prevent yourself from getting killed or hurt. So once he gets positioned, you'll see that her projectiles will start hitting him pretty good again, and we're almost there. Alright, so now he's getting hit again, and it's just rinse and repeat here. You just camp out up here, someplace like this, and just watch. Be mindful of what attacks he's doing. Don't go and take a, bathroom break or something. Just stay here, keep an eye on it, and you should be able to get him cheesed down pretty good. Now, maybe there's something to be said for beating him legitimately, but I like the ability to, have these options and figure it out and stuff. So I don't know how many other people have already figured this out, but I thought I'd go ahead and throw a video up of it. So yeah, that big jump in his health was video editing, not a sudden burst of DPS from Letenna or anything like that. So yeah, shouldn't take too long, and you'll get him down. And as of now, this method still works past any recent patches, so this should still work.